to start the recording. So welcome everyone. Muriel came here. Welcome to episode number 7 of HPTV Live. And once again, every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, right here on my personal page. We're probably going to move this inside the Healthpreneur group within the next few weeks. So if you're enjoying these, be sure to join us there. The website is healthpreneurgroup.com. The URL is above this video or below it if you're watching on replay on YouTube. A couple of housekeeping things before we get into this. Welcome everyone. Let me know where you're joining me from. I'm back in my studio here in Toronto, in my house, my good old abode, mi casa, es su casa. So let me know in the comments where you're joining in from. And again, we're talking about the number one way to grow your online health or fitness business. And I guarantee you what I'm going to share with you is exactly the opposite of what you're thinking. So stick with me for a moment here. A couple of housekeeping things. Again, let me know where you're joining in from in the comments. And we have the new Healthpreneur website pretty much live, but it's not fully done. So this is an example of like get it going before it's perfect type of thing. So if you go to healthpreneurgroup.com, check out this really cool tool called the idea filter that I've built for you guys. It's amazing. If you guys want to stand out in this crowded marketplace and actually get your ideas to kind of like rise above the noise, you got to check out the idea filter. It's a 2-page tool that will save you years of frustration and wasted money and resources going down the wrong path and give you much more clarity and focus as to what is actually worthwhile pursuing. A really cool tool. I use it in my business and I created it for me first and foremost, but also for you guys. So check it out. All right, so Laura, what's going on from sunny California? Whereabouts in California are you? It's a big state. More popular, I think there's more people in California than there are in Canada. Kevin from Bradenton, Florida. Becca, Western Massachusetts. What's up? Scotty Cates from, oh, it just disappeared. That's the one thing that's frustrating about these live hangouts. It's like I don't see a continual feed of comments and stuff. Lilia from Coburg. How's it going? You were on the webinar or the live training the other night, weren't you, last week? I believe. I remember, yeah. I think you were there, yeah. Okay, so hope you guys are all doing awesome. And okay, so actually, I'm going to put this out to you guys first. Before I jump into what this number one way to grow your online business is, I want to ask you guys what you believe is the number one way, what's up, Phil, to build your online business. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Just first thing off the top of your head, what's the number one thing you think is necessary to help you grow your online business? Scotty Cates, Missouri. There we go. Cool, Laura. LA, awesome. I'm going to be in LA in January. Building an email list, says Becca. Cool. What else? What else? Just fire them off, guys. Just fire them off. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm not testing you guys. I'm going to have some water while you guys answer. Getting on content, absolutely. Great content. Content. You guys are kind of like drinking the Kool-Aid now, right? Content is massively important. Great core offer, building relationships, trust, being genuine. Tom, oh my goodness, long time no see, my friend. Hope you and the family are doing great. Okay, so those are all valid suggestions, and absolutely every single one of them is going to help you build your online business. What I'm going to suggest to you is this, is that, and this is going to seem controversial considering that we run an internet-based business. But what I'm going to suggest to you is that the number one way to grow your online business is to actually spend less of your time online. Okay, just let that sink in for a second. So what I'm suggesting here is that the best use of your time has nothing to do with you actively being connected to the internet, unless, of course, you're doing something like I'm doing right here, which is obviously providing value, connecting with your audience in person, real time. Other than that, your best stuff as a thought leader, as the CEO of your business, is up here, right? Your ideas, your thoughts, your message, your strategy, your methodology, and that has nothing to do with you being connected. So if, let's say you're creating content, which we know is massively important, do you have to be connected to the internet in order for you to share your amazing idea or solution to a problem? Yes or no? No, right? You don't. You don't have, in order to get it out of your head onto paper or onto video, you don't have to be connected to the internet. In order for that message to eventually reach people, that obviously has to live on the internet. But the initial creation of it doesn't require you to be connected. That's why, for instance, if I'm shooting YouTube videos, I'm not shooting a video, uploading it, and then shooting another one and uploading it. I'm batching, for instance, 10 videos all at once. So I'll shoot 10 videos in, let's say, 2 hours, and then we'll take those videos and we'll put them through our process to get them up and scheduled on YouTube. So my use of time is on the creation. Your best use of time is on the creation side, not on the how do I get this online side. So here's the thing. You could technically have no internet every single hour of the day and then do all of your creative work, log on to the internet for, let's say, one afternoon once during the week, and upload everything you need to upload to your team, to WordPress, to YouTube, and it's done. So does that make sense? Because the problem is that the internet, as amazing as it is also our biggest roadblock in terms of distractions, overwhelm, shiny objects, and loss of focus. Can you guys relate to that? I'm sure you can. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're somebody who has ideas, you're probably watching this right now and you're like, oh my God, I see somebody on my feed here I gotta check out. Stay focused with me. Stay with me for a moment. It's like talking to my kids, like stay with me, just focus. So what I'm suggesting here is that by spending less of your time connected to the internet, you'll actually become a lot more productive. And obviously, as being more productive, you're gonna create more impact. So here's the thing. The number one way to build your online business is to spend less time online. With that said, I'm gonna say something else. The most valuable use of your time is thinking. The most valuable use of your time is thinking. And again, this goes completely against the grain of the world in which we live in, which is busyness, okay? It's actually funny, if we look at the word business, right? I'm just gonna make sure you guys can see this. If we look at the word business, busyness, I don't even know where the word came from, but it's almost like the fact that you're just busy is a good thing apparently in this culture. You know, like you get into conversations with people and they're like, hey, like, so, you know, you're busy, things are good, like you got a lot of stuff going on. Like that's like a, you know, I don't know, it's something to be rewarded for, just being busy all the time. There's a very big difference between being busy and being effective. I don't know if it was Mark Twain or somebody else who said this. They said something along the lines of like being busy, you know, even the ants are busy. It's not about being busy. It's about being effective with what you do. So with that said, I'm gonna suggest two things. Is that first and foremost, the number one usage, the most valuable thing you can do as the entrepreneur, as the CEO of your business is thinking, okay? So spending time disconnected from the internet, literally sitting in a chair, looking out into the ethers or going for a walk in nature is where you're gonna come up with your best ideas. How many of you have had your best ideas when you were in the trenches doing the work at your computer? I'm gonna just say that probably not a lot, okay? But the best ideas come from when you're taking the shower, when you're going for a walk in nature, when you're working out, when you're disconnected from what it is that you're actually doing. So it's actually it's a process called precession. And this is actually very similar to what happens with bees when they are pollinating. So we have, I'm gonna just shift the camera around here. So let's just say that we're a bee here. I'm gonna draw a nice bee for you guys. So there's our bee. Bzz. Okay, so the bee is flying, and he's gonna go this way, okay? He's flying from A to B. He's gonna go from Mexico to Canada and bring all his killer bee friends up here apparently, and everyone's scared of whatever. Okay, so the bee is moving in a path, but its pollination occurs at 90 degrees to its I guess line of journey or whatever it is. I can't even think right now. So this is where I'm going to call this the zone of genius, where you have this idea as you're working out, you're going for a walk, you're doing something completely different that's not necessarily doing the work. You're on this path, you're going for a drive, whatever it is, and then boom, these ideas come out. They're shooting out from, left, right, and center. Sometimes this can happen as you're sleeping. So this doesn't happen though if you don't give yourself the space to think. And there's a difference between thinking and thoughting. Thoughting is just like you've got thoughts, right? Like just it's like your news feed on Facebook. It's just like casino slots, right? But when you spend the time to actively think, like set an intention for like, okay, I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to set an intention for figuring out the strategy for this, or I'm going to come up with a cool idea for this, and you just let it go. Just put the intention out there and just let it go. That is where the magic happens. So there you go. Scott, yes, it will be available as a replay right here on the page. Also put it up on YouTube afterwards. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so does that make sense, guys? So what I would suggest you do is spend time every single day thinking. Just sit in a chair or do nothing related to your work in terms of the busyness and think. Think. We entrepreneurs are problem solvers. That's what we do. We find problems and we solve them. If you're not solving problems, you're not going to get paid. It's pretty simple. You're not going to be sought after, and you're just going to be creating stuff because you enjoy doing what you do, which is great. But if there's no need in the marketplace, you're going to go broke and you're not going to be serving a lot of people, okay? So we provide solutions to problems. So you have to identify what those problems are and provide solutions to them. So remember, the internet is simply a medium, right? Just like direct mail, like telephone, like TV is, the internet is simply a medium. And obviously it's a lot more effective because it's so ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's very easy to get our message out. But with ease comes difficulty because everyone else can do that. So I suggested to you guys to download the idea filter at healthpreneurgroup.com. One of the criteria in the feasibility stage of that 2-page process is something known as barrier to entry. If it's easy to enter into a marketplace, guess what? It's going to be super competitive, right? So in a super competitive marketplace, what is going to help you stand out? The execution of things or breakthrough ideas? I'll let you guys think about that for a second. And I'll just erase this. So the breakthrough idea, right? Mark Zuckerberg creating Facebook, right? The creation of Uber, anything we use nowadays, like this microphone, this whiteboard. These are not, eventually these were things that were executed. These were ideas that were executed on, but the brilliance, the thing that's going to help you stand out is the idea and your ability to articulate that in a way that the audience, your prospective customers, see it as a benefit to their lives. And again, it's so important to spend time just thinking so you can generate these ideas that then go out into the marketplace. So I'm going to draw another drawing for you guys. I'm going to see if you guys can figure this out. I don't even know if this is going to look like what I want it to look like, but let's see how this goes. All right. This is pretty good. Oh yeah. Oh man. Okay, do you guys have any idea what the hell I just drew? Because I'm having a tough time even comprehending what this is. Okay, so what this is a cow, okay? And my argument to you is that you are a big fat cow, and so am I. And this is a concept I first learned from my good friend Dean Jackson. He talks about cows and farmers. So as the entrepreneur, as the idea person, we are cows, and our ideas are the milk, okay? The thing is, our job is to spend time grazing the fields, in the pastures, eating grass, thinking, hanging out with our friends, whatever. And an idea hits, and we're able to produce the milk. Now, initially, when you're starting your business on your own, you're the one who's producing the milk, squeezing the milk out, bottling the milk, and taking it to market, right? Over time, what you want to have happen around you is you want to set yourself up so you are just producing milk. You're just creating your ideas. You're sitting in a chair. You're going for a walk. You have an idea. Boom. then you have a simple process to communicate that idea with somebody else, like a farmer. Okay, that's our farmer, right? You can tell the level of drawing here is just getting better. I should have continued taking art after like grade 8, but I got tired of it. So a farmer is like, yes, more milk. Here's the thing, is you can produce more milk than you can surround yourself with farmers. I don't know if you guys saw the Tony Robbins movie, I'm not sure, Guru on Netflix. It's a perfect example of a big fat cow who has more ideas than his team can keep up with. So if you guys saw that movie, you'll remember that one of the scenes, or several of the scenes, Tony is like leaving the stage at like midnight, and then he's in his Escalade, or the vehicle, with like 3 people surrounding him. And those 3 people are not security guards, they're his content project managers, his content producers / curators. They're taking everything he produced during the event, and now they're looking at ways to get it, to tweak it to make tomorrow better. But what they're also doing behind the scenes is they're taking his milk, his ideas, his teachings, and they're now going to package it into blog content, products to get out to the world. And what Tony and what every high-level entrepreneur does is they only perform. They don't worry about the other stuff. So these farmers, they can be hooked onto the internet. That's where they're going to, they're managing people, managing projects. But the cow, us, we want to be spending time in the creation, right? Grazing the pastures, playing golf, hooking up with other people that are in our space, generating ideas, building relationships. All of this stuff comes to ideas that you can then take back to your farmers, who can then milk the teats, take your ideas, and then make it real. So does that make sense? I'm going to share you guys a concept from my good friend and coach Dan Sullivan from Strategic Coach. So there's 3 phases in business in terms of taking an idea and bringing it to marketplace. Okay, we have make it up. Okay, make it real, and then make it recur. I don't know if that's the way to spell recur, but whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure you guys can see this. Okay, so this is important stuff. I'll just move that around there. Okay, so our job, okay, so your job is to spend your time here, right? We make this up. Okay, so I'm just gonna put you in here. And again, if you're not at the stage of business, don't worry about this. Okay, like don't get frazzled thinking you have to hire people. You don't have to. But I want you to think about this, because as a process in your creative process, this is important to think about, because right now, if you're doing everything, this is stuff that other people are going to do. Okay, so this is something that a project manager would do. So they're going to make it real. You're communicating your vision, your idea with the project manager. The project manager oversees the completion of this. They know exactly what you're looking for, the success criteria, what the finished product looks like. And they would communicate with the team, let's say. And the team is going to put that into a process that's going to make it recur, if it's a recurring type of thing, right? Or they're just going to put it out into the world. So your job, okay, our job, our most important ability is to be super clear about the what and the why. Okay, now again, guys, this is higher level stuff. I mean, I could teach you tactics all day long. I could teach you, hey, here's how to get more backlinks. Just use this website. Or I could teach you, here's a cool blog post template. And again, that has its place. This is higher level stuff. This is the stuff that if you get this and apply it, you become a business. You build a system that works for you instead of you doing all the work. I don't know about you guys, but this is pretty cool, because when you apply this stuff, you get to take 2 months off, or you get to spend your time eating grass like a cow, if that's your thing. So your major focus, our major focus, is to focus on the what and the how. Sorry, the what and the why. This is the trap though, because most of us, myself included, go down the how path. We're always thinking about, how do I make this happen? How do I do this? Ideally, that is not your job. Your job is to get super clear on exactly what you want to create, why it's important that it gets done, because the why is going to help you move your team in the right direction and get them rallied around this idea. But the how, okay, the how is the trap. If you start going down paths of like, how do I do this? How do I get that done? It has its time and place. Again, if you're just mostly doing this stuff on your own right now, the how is you're going to have to do some of the how. But eventually, you want to find the who, not the how. So your goal is eventually to find the who. Because if you can find other people to learn from or to do stuff for you, then you have to worry less about the figuring it out. And that's why I do this stuff, is because when I started my online business, I thought that I knew what I wanted, and I thought I knew how to make that happen. But after struggling for 3 years online, I realized that my how was not the right how. So what I ended up doing is I kind of got a kick in the head several times over. Eventually I realized that I needed to find the who. I needed to find the right coach, the right mentor, the right people to surround myself with, and learn from them initially about the right how, the right process, the right strategy. Once that started happening, then I was able to take another step up to look for who can do this for me. Okay? So that's how you really elevate yourself in business, is really trying to initially stop trying to figure everything out by yourself, because why would you do that when you have a proven strategy that somebody else has already done? Here you go, right? Find that person, follow them. Eventually, when you're making more money and your business is profitable and you're looking for more free time, then you can say, listen, I'm going to take a certain portion of my revenue and I'm going to find the who to run this stuff for me. And that's how you start to really elevate and delegate in your business. So this stuff is powerful, okay? Don't overlook the simplicity of this, because this becomes like the foundational framework for how you move something from idea to done in the world. It's the same process for instance, on my blog, my personal blog, not healthprenneurgroup.com yet, but on my personal blog, what I've done is I've developed a strategy called Teach to Sell, and I created this machine, this unbelievable process that I have no involvement in now. So if you go to my website today, you'll see like amazing blog posts every single day, 2,000 high quality words, awesome content, and I have very little to zero involvement in that. So that is how you start to move. Again, going back to the thinking, is you're thinking of what it is you want to create, you build the machine, and then you let other people run it for you. Okay, Becca, so is this for when we are more established in our biz? I mean, it is, but here's the thing. Like, if I had known this stuff from day zero, I would have saved myself a whole lot of time and energy on stuff I should not have been doing. Okay, because this is, again, this is like, so again, let's take a couple steps back. We're talking about the most effective way to build your online business. And I'm saying the less time you spend in the trenches on the internet, the better off you're going to be, unless, of course, you're doing this type of live hangout where you obviously have to be connected to the internet and you're dealing with your audience, right? Other than that, what we want to be focusing on is the higher level stuff. And again, initially you have to do mostly everything. You have to wear all the hats. But I want to give you this framework so you have some type of roadmap to think about as your business grows, right? Where initially you're doing everything to the point where even if you're doing everything, what you should still be focusing on is getting super, super clear on what the finished product looks like. And by finished product, I mean like idea, project, whatever it is. Because if you don't have clarity, and again, this goes back to the idea filter, which is on our website. If you don't have clarity, it's like driving through fog and you're only seeing a few steps ahead. And that's fine because we have to take action one step at a time. But the thing is, in an airplane, if you're 1 degree off course, that will take you miles off the final destination unless you course correct very quickly. Okay? So if you're not correcting for the wind in an airplane, you will, instead of flying from New York to LA, you'll end up in like San Diego or even Mexico in some cases based on that small variance that isn't corrected over time. So by being super clear on what you want, this goes back to removing yourself from the doingness to thinking about, okay, what does this look like when it's done? What are the specific things that have to be in place? And just like getting really, really as clear as possible, because when you have that clarity, that is when you're able to move mountains. Seriously. Because when you know exactly what has to happen to the best of your ability, you're able to A, perhaps find the people to do some of the stuff for you, and B, you know exactly what course to take without having to make all sorts of mistakes and errors along the way. So you reduce the amount of course correction that's necessary. What's going on, Joshua? If you missed the beginning of the video, again, you can watch the replay on Facebook right here. In just a few moments when we finish up, you can also watch the replay on my YouTube channel. And obviously, we'll post this up on the healthpreneurgroup.com website as well. So if you guys miss anything, you can always catch this. But this is high-level stuff, okay? And I'm sharing this with you guys because I believe that you guys deserve to have a higher level business. And not to say that you have to have a business like mine. That's not it. But you have to have a thought process like a business owner. Most people, and believe me, when I say most people, you can replace most people with me in every one of these situations when I first started my business. And I'm a very slow learner apparently because it took me a long time to like get it and be like, oh my God, maybe I should do something a bit differently. But a lot of people, especially in our space, here's the difficulty. As a health or fitness professional, you have a technical expertise to train people, to help them lose weight, whatever it is. You come online, you start a business, and that technical expertise is still really, really, really important for your content. But at the same time now, you're also building a business. And the business hat is a little bit different. So when I came online, I was running my business like a nutritionist and personal trainer, basically who had bought themselves a job. It would be like if I bought myself a gym and I worked as the trainer in that gym all the time. That doesn't make sense. That's not a business. You just basically purchased a job. But the beautiful thing about the internet is that it affords you to create a business system that works on your behalf. And that's what a business is. How is McDonald's able to have the majority of their stores all around the world run by teenagers, right? Like, obviously you've got some corporate executives sitting in a head office, but their stores, the storefront, is literally run by teenagers. How is that possible? It's possible because of processes and systems. So as you kind of go down this entrepreneurial journey, I want you to think about this. So let me ask you guys this. Let me grab a sip of water here. How many of you believe that education is important? Hopefully everyone, right? Because what you're doing is you're educating your audience. Okay, so obviously you should believe that knowledge and education is important. What education does is there's different types of education, right? There's the education of like, I'm going to get another certification to become a more certified or more credentialized trainer, health coach, etc. But then there's the education that is the business, marketing, owning your skills when it comes to building your business. And that's super powerful as well, because if you don't know this stuff, then all of your knowledge, all of your ideas about how to become a better version of yourself, how to be fit or how to lose weight is not going to make a difference. Okay? Because if you can't get your message out, it's like having a Ferrari that sits in your garage. It just doesn't make sense. So I want you to think about this. Marketing equals education. We have, obviously a tendency to, and I've gone over time here, but I think this is important. Just because you want to serve people doesn't mean that selling is evil. It doesn't mean that marketing is evil. The problem is that marketing has gotten a bad rap because people jump the gun. Most online marketers, and not necessarily most, but there's obviously businesses that we all know of that are like, it would be like dating and be like, hey, you see somebody out of the corner of your eye and then you're like, boom, let's sleep together. That's the way a lot of people view marketing. And as a result, marketing gets this bad rap. But marketing is really a way of educating your audience in a way that builds KLT, know, like, and trust. And this is the foundation of them doing business with you. So if you're educating people, that's tremendous. Marketing is simply education in a way that amplifies what you already know. So you know your stuff, right? You know how to help people lose weight, eat better, overcome sugar addictions, whatever it is you know you're the best at. Marketing simply allows you to get that education in front of more people. So it's simply an amplification of your awesomeness. And when you're able to do that, your marketing is essentially teaching. And when you teach and help people, they actually know or get to know, like, and trust you, just as I'm doing here. So I think you guys understand this, but I just want you to understand that it's really important to invest in the marketing side of things, to understand how do I get in front of more people? How do I build a larger audience? How do I convert more people into leads and customers? Because if you don't have that, the leads and customers are the lifeblood of your business. If you don't have revenue for a long period of time, unless you're supporting it somehow else, you will go out of business. So never forget that you are in business, and the point of business is first and foremost to solve problems, and secondly, to be profitable. Okay, and you can't be profitable unless you know how to market properly. This is a lesson I learned after 3 years of like zero results online. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to master this stuff. And we've had a lot of success in the last 7 years, specifically 7 years. And now I'm an open book because I want to help you. I want us to collectively help 1 billion people on the planet go from suffering to better health, and from better health to high performance. And I can't do that alone, but if I can help you guys elevate your game and become better versions of yourself as entrepreneurs and healthcare practitioners so that you can get in front of more people, get your message out to more people, collectively, we can reach more people. But if you're just stuck in your own little box and you don't know how to get your message in front of more people, you're not serving anyone. I know so many professors that I had in school, super smart PhDs, they're working in these corner cubicles. And I'm thinking, you are friggin' brilliant and nobody knows about it. And that really, it just leaves a sour taste in my mouth because it's so unfortunate. Okay, so don't let anything hold you back thinking you have to have an MBA or PhD or whatever. All you have to do is care for people and teach them in a way that moves them closer from where they are to where they want to be. That's what marketing is. So Tom saying, marketing is a foundational tool of nature. Have you ever seen and smelled a flower? It smells better and looks brighter than other plants around it to attract clients. Do you think flowers are bad? Then why do you think marketing is bad? Yeah, it's true. No, I agree with you. Absolutely. Marketing is like, again, for me, so I've developed this framework called teach to sell, because for me, selling is teaching is selling. There's no difference. Because what's happening right now is you're drinking my Kool-Aid, right? You're drinking my Kool-Aid. My Kool-Aid is this stuff, my teaching, my perspectives, my insights, my knowledge. And you're either saying, this guy's crazy, I'm out of here, or I want more of this Kool-Aid. And the more you drink my Kool-Aid, the more KLT is built. And I'm not like I can't envision the future. I mean, I can't predict it, but what I can, with a good degree of confidence, maybe predict, is that the more value I provide for you, the more likely it is that we're going to do business together. Does that make sense? So again, this is not like an in disguise sales pitch. I'm just saying that's just the way the world works. It's like dating. The more time you spend with somebody, the more acts of kindness you give to that person, the more they're going to reciprocate, the more they're going to want to be with you. And then eventually, you know, the date turns into a long-term relationship. The long-term relationship turns into marriage, and the marriage turns into kids. And then the kids come, and then you get divorced. And then, no, I'm just kidding. Then like it's just one step after another. So that's really marketing is education. Education is relationship building. It's all the same stuff. So anyways, this has been super fun. I've enjoyed this one. And there's a couple more things that I didn't get a chance to touch on, but you know, we'll do this in probably the next episode next week. So remember guys, every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, right here on my personal profile. We're probably going to move this stuff to inside the Healthpreneur group probably in November, I think, just to keep it more, I don't know, focused in there. But in the meantime, be sure to go to healthpreneurgroup.com. Again, the website's not fully finished, but at least it's up. And download the idea filter. The idea filter is awesome. You'll find it super, super valuable and give you more clarity, helping you stand out, getting super clear on what's going to work, what isn't, with a much greater degree of confidence. Yeah. So the replay will be up here. It'll be inside the group as well. And it'll be up on YouTube. And we'll post that as well on the Healthpreneur Group website within the next couple days. So there it is, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Keep rocking on. And I think that's it. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Get your message out there. Help more people. And just make this world a better place. That's what we're here to do. That's what I'm here to help you do. And let's go do it. All right, guys.